Hello, welcome to the show that's got its thinking cap on. It's Lacuna. Why do we have our thinking cap on? Because now we have to submit this sheet about the Liberators. Who are they? What's the company? There's a lot of choices. What planet are they from? What's their specialty? Or what's their sector and what they specialize in? And in case you don't remember, these are all our choices. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and kind of sink down here into some deducing. And I'll be back with my results. I know it's a mining company. And I know that because somewhere I would have information. I don't know where it is. But the explosives that were used in the church were only available to mining companies. So, but that's also like there's some stuff here that I wasn't sure about. Like does May Technologies, what's depletion machines? Like I'm not sure about that. Would they have access to explosives? And there was another one in here, like maybe not. Research. When Hinobi have access, I mean, are they making experimental explosives? Who knows? So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. I'm gonna put my deduction cap on, go through all my notes, see if I can figure this out, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about it. Exciting stuff, I know. Just for you, it'll be right away. For me, it might be a half hour, so sit tight. Okay, we're back. This is what I'm going with. Dyson from Drovia mining Delanium. There's a couple clues that pointed me in this direction. Number one, the whole thing's been about Tillium, and we know it's a mining company. So that really narrowed it down to a couple companies. And then we had this message that came to Moore, right, about doing this whole shenanigans. I'd like to thank you for your good work. I'm glad that a fellow Drovian is taking care of the Tilanium. So it's Drovia and it's Tilanium. It's signed A, and the guy who runs Dyson Mining is named Adam Dyson, or pardon me, Aaron Dyson or something. Adrian Dyson starts with an A. So when you put Drovia, Tillium, A into the picture, everything comes back to this. So I think, and of course all those messages were being sent from a CEO status on that Mercurian network, so it can't just be a schlub. It's got to be like a CEO, someone high up in a company. We're going with this.
Abbott Dyson.
Abbott.
All the signs pointed towards him and his company. I didn't feel like I had the full picture just yet, but some aspects finally made sense to me.
Can't get out.
None of the people we had encountered seemed to support what the Liberators claimed to stand for. This wasn't a Garian terror group at all. It was Drovians, Savians, hired guns, and business people, all working for one man's false flag operation. What was he trying to accomplish? Stir up enough trouble to force the solar system into a war? I had talked to Dyson the morning after Banny's death.
Yep.
He was still in Gara, hiding in plain sight, and I still had his number. I considered my options. We needed to arrest him, but maybe we could have a chat first, just the two of us. Once the CDI had him, he wouldn't be able to talk freely. I took out my cell and
Yeah,
tapped his face in my
these ass hats
contacts.
are kidnapped my daughter, so we gotta. What's gonna happen here? Hello? Morning, Mr. Dyson. This is Neil Conrad with the CDI. Ah, Agent Conrad. How can I help you? There's something I'd like to talk to you about in person. We'll meet on the train that stops at Louisville in half an hour. I have an important call in 10 minutes. Can we make the appointment for tonight? This can't wait. If you insist, I'll tell my secretary to delay my call. Thanks. See you in a bit. Okay. Back to the train station. No voiceover this time. How's everybody out there doing? Me? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Hanging in. Just kicking back. Playing a game. I'm taking a walk in the little park near your place this morning. You know the one. Once you leave the elevator, just keep going straight past the fountain. I'll be sitting down for a coffee near the gazebo. Come around if you want to join me. I'll be here for another hour or two. Who's Lee and Campbell? Should I know? Man, there's a lot of names in this. I'm sure I know who he is. Oh, that's the chief. Okay. I just always called him Chief. I didn't know his first name. Yeah, we can go have a little chat with him quick. Where is he at? Past the fountain? Is he up here? Morning, Chief. Morning, Conrad. It's Campbell now. Right. You wanted to talk to me. I need you to give your word that you won't tell anyone about our meeting today. Okay. You have my word. You're an excellent investigator, Conrad. I know it. Thank you. You found out that the sniper shot at Bandy from the Sakura Hotel. You have a sharp mind. You have identified the bartender at the hotel as the one who helped Diaz escape. You found the sniper's boat in the harbor. You helped us track him down and retrace his escape. You figured out what Bandy's murderer looked like. Thanks to that, we were able to catch him and his associate on Joris Plaza. And you determined who had started the Liberator's video at AdSpot. That's why we could go after Moore and Cox so quickly. Do you know what makes you so good at your job? You question just about anything. In all my years at the CDI, I've never met a bigger skeptic than you. But that can also make your life harder if you want to climb the ranks at the CDI. However, if that doesn't concern you, you might want to have a closer look at the Sector 2 incident. I don't know exactly what it is they're trying to hide, but the data they're so desperately protecting has something to do with it. Who? Who is hiding something? The Attorney General for sure, or maybe just her. I think something happened back when she was director of the CDI. She's been acting strange. This sudden decision to arrest Cox when she heard his name was the last straw. I have to go now. This will be the first meeting without work I had in a while. Thanks for meeting me. Okay, that's interesting because we do have a sheet dealing with the data. So we know it's about the Sector 2 incident, which took place in 1800, and it took place on Drovia. But that doesn't tell us what's going on with that. Like, why was the Attorney General being so strange? What actually happened? We'll have to figure that out. But that might be enough to help save our daughter, because that's what the terrorists wanted to know. The plot's pretty convoluted. There's a lot going on.
My heart was pounding. Would Dyson really come, or did I spook him? Did he suspect I was onto him? It would be a while until I found out, so I sat down and took a deep breath. At least I had a little time to think about what to say to him if he showed up.
Is this jerk coming? Do I get on the train? Yeah. Well, that one's too crowded. Mr. Dyson. Good evening, Agent Conrad. This is an interesting setting for a chat. Let's get straight to the point. I have sufficient proof that you are part of, and even all of the Liberators. Yeah, you didn't got nothing to say to that, do you, buddy? That's a big accusation to throw around. What proof would that be? I know you hired mercenaries to kill Banny and steal some of the data from the Chief's cell. You also instructed Cox to broadcast the Liberator's message and to bomb the Korean church. If there's anything else going on that endangers people's lives, you need to tell me right now. If you're so sure of all that, why didn't the CDI just arrest me? I want to know why you did it. You're saving it from Drovia? What's more, your company suffers financially from operating inside an unfreed colony. You have all the reasons to support Drovian independence. I do support Drovian independence, but not for economic reasons. Don't you think that the status quo is unacceptable in modern society? Gara forces us to hand over all the fruits of our labors like we live in feudal times, only to resell it at incredible profit. Your planet exploits and enslaves my people for its own financial gain. That's how you see it. Why did you create an anti-Sabian, anti-emancipation terrorist group? All Drovia needs to finally explode is a spark. I provided just that. Did you read the news today? Drovian resistance against its oppressors has never been stronger. So you admit it. You did it to lend momentum and legitimacy to a Sabian revolution. To push public opinion on Drovia to a point where a secession war seems inevitable. If they were already negotiated, why didn't you just support Banny on the summit? Joseph was in no position to change things. The whole summit was a big dog and pony show. History teaches us that you can't obtain independence the peaceful way. If you want it, you take it. And the war is worth it for you, especially considering that Drovia is unlikely to win? If the war is what it takes, we have to try. Besides, New Jordan will take our side, if any. You know, I'm really not buying your man of the people spiel. This is all about your company's bottom line. Think of me any way you want. Doesn't matter. The way I see it, I'm using my influence and money to fight for the right cause. Don't you think that thousands of innocent lives are prohibitively high price to pay? It's interesting you bring that up, being a CDI agent yourself. What are you talking about? The data I've been wanting to get my hands on? Did you have a look at it? No. It contains classified information about the Sector 2 incident, which also cost thousands of innocent lives. But just as importantly, Sabians lost the right to a self-governed colony on Drovia. Gara cited a charter that it had made up itself and launched an independent investigation, which identified major construction and security flaws as the cause of the disaster. I'm familiar with the incident. What are you getting at? Those backwards Sabians didn't believe in real science, so they don't know how to build a safe colony. Sounds convincing, doesn't it? What if I told you the colony was sabotaged by Gara? Don't be ridiculous. The operation was launched out of fear and greed. A Sabian colony on the biggest Telanium source in the system, free to trade with New Jordan. Losing the Telanium race would have meant losing supremacy over the solar system at the time. They couldn't allow that to happen. Who? Who are you talking about? A number of politicians and other elites, and of course, the CDI as their executive force. Your Attorney General, Amelia Thorne. She was director of the CDI at the time. So before you judge me, look at the people you work for and what they did. I know so many people who died or lost someone in the incident. So many more who lost their livelihoods. No, this is too big. So many people would have to stay quiet for it to stay a secret for so long. Well, it will come out. And not that many people know. Who knows at the CDI? Does Gary know? The chief? The director? Everybody involved is retired now except Miss Thorne. But some people must know. There are records of it. They will see the light of day soon enough. I know that the mercenaries you hired are working on getting them back. They abducted my daughter and blackmailed me into helping them. I'm sorry to hear that. They did not act on my behalf when they took your daughter. Listen, Mr. Dyson. It's a big choice. You can go. So you see that what I'm doing is right. I'm surprised. I'm not sure it's right, but I need to investigate it. Not quite. No more people can get harmed over this. The Liberators will never make another appearance. We have a deal. And you have to answer a few more questions. Tell me. What do you know about the people who took my daughter? Not much, to be honest. You probably figured out most of it already. They're a secret group of mercenaries and they run big operations in the whole solar system. If you want a higher profile job done, you go to them. Where's their HQ and where are they keeping my daughter? I don't know. They're secretive. They only meet you in public places, or they come to you. I see. Tell me, Why does Cox help you? I imagine bombing a church isn't something you can just pay any security company to do. Albert's parents were old friends of mine. Their company was in charge of security on Sector 2. They went bankrupt after the explosion. Some people put the blame for the incident on them. They're getting death threats to this day. I support them and their son financially. As you can imagine, Cox has every reason to want revenge for what Gara did to his family. Why work with the mercenaries when you already had Cox's guy do your dirty work? Parts of the plan were out of his wheelhouse. I see. That's all for now. I'll have to get out to the next stop. Remember what I said. If one other person gets harmed, you'll be screwed. We gotta dig up information on what happened. For sure. Talk to Gary. I did a little bit of looking into this game. No spoilers or anything. Supposedly there's 8 different endings, and whatever ending you get has not only to do with how you end the game, but all your little choices throughout. I think we played pretty principled. I'm not sure. Where's Gary at? Hello? This is Dublin Moore. Did you find my husband? What is it? Did something happen to him? He didn't turn up. So I was right, wasn't I? He's not working with the Liberators after all. We're looking into it. What's that supposed to mean? Did you find him at the Korean Hotel or not? Now's not a good time, okay? You promised to protect James. If something happens to him, please, our son needs a father. Let's talk about it later. Who are these assholes and why are they following me? Are they not following me? Here's Saito. Here's Gary. Hey, we still don't know who's behind these fucking Liberators. Yeah. And we don't have any clue when or where that second attack is going down either. Starting to get nervous. I have a meeting with the press in a few minutes. We'll go over everything later. Roger that.
I was supposed to write a report on my findings in the Liberators case, but I wasn't able to concentrate for even a second.
Yeah.
First, I needed to wait for my colleagues to go home to be alone with Saito. He always worked late. But then what? What if he refused to help me? The idea of having to force him was devastating. He was my friend, after all. When I finally managed not to think about it anymore, a much more dire thought crept up on me. Laura might die tonight. And if she did, it would be my fault.
Damn. That's heavy. I just want to verify that it's 1800. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But there should be 40th anniversary, right? Yeah. Let's go. I had to submit that to them by 7 o'clock, or they were gonna kill my daughter, or threaten to kill my daughter. Who do I gotta talk to? Saito? Yeah. It sounds emptier, like my footfalls. Let's go Chief's office. My footfalls sound heavier. They echo more than I think they did when it was crowded during the day. That's kind of cool. Yeah, can I find the right door? Can I find the right door? When I booted the game today, it said I was like 78% done. Am I just walking in the same room over and over again? What the hell's going on? How far up did I go for a smoke? There's Saito. Hey, Saito. Hi, Neil. You're working late. Listen, there's something I need to talk to you about. Of course. What's the matter? Saito, I'm sorry. Sorry? For what? Is everything alright? No, it's not. My daughter... Laura was abducted, and the people who took her want something from me. I need your help to get it for them. What? Laura was abducted? When? By whom? By a group of mercenaries. Shit. I'm sorry, Neil. What's the CDI's plan of action? The CDI? What do you think those people would do if I told the CDI about it? Wait, you didn't tell anyone else at the CDI? Oh, pardon me, at the CDI? I'm drinking this damn lemon water with gas in it. Giving me the burps. No, look, we don't have much time. The mercenaries want me to help them get some data back that they stole from the chief. They managed to create a backdoor to the CDI network. They can briefly alter the access rights to the folder they want from the CDI database, but they won't be able to retrieve it. That can only be done from a local computer. That's where you come in. You're a sysadmin, right? You have to grant the request access to a specific folder you're not usually able to see. I'll pull all the data from that folder to your local drive. Put it on a stick and give it to me. They made it clear it was not to be sent over the web. Okay, listen, holy fuck. I'll bring them the data, and I'll get Laura back. Neil, you realize you can't trust these people, right? Why are you so convinced to hold up their end of the bargain? If you want to save Laura, you have to ask the higher-ups to the CDI for help. I don't know enough about these people. No chance the CDI would be able to track them down in time. The hack will go down in 5 minutes. If I don't hand them the data tonight, they might kill her. I have an idea. Once you open up the folder they're after, I might be able to locate the source of the back door. We'll explain it to the others what's going on when we'll raid the location before the handover is scheduled. We'll have Laura back before they find out we never went through the hack. If we do it that way, do we still get to retrieve the data in the folder? We won't need it. But if you can't trace them and then don't get the data, we have nothing. Fine, I'll accept the data transfer either way. I'll delete it if I'm able to trace the hack. I can't... First of all, I want the data to see what the CDI is up to. Number two, I'm not risking my daughter. No, it's too risky. I'll hand them the data as planned. They expect me in an hour. Please, Neil, come to your senses. These are criminals. You can't work with them. I'm not so sure about who the bigger criminal is here. What are you talking about? You know what? Do what you think is best, but I won't be a part of it. Please, don't make it complicated, Saito. I really need your help. Shit. I really don't want to do this, but you leave me no choice. Tell them it was all me, that I forced you to do it. But I beg you, get me that data. Are you insane? Fine, I'll do it. Put your gun down for the love of God. What is this data anyway? Why do they want it? I'm not sure. I don't have time to explain. She's calling. Hey, Neil, I got your sheet. Already on your end? Yeah, we're ready. Good. We're searching that folder now. I'll tell you when you have access. All right, there we are. You're good to go. Okay, I think Saito's retrieving the data. I got it. Good work. I'll see you at the handover. God damn, Neil. I'm really sorry, Saito. Hand me the stick. And please give me a little leave before you send him after me. I'll do the same for you. I really enjoyed working with you. Shit, we better fucking run. Ah, that's the objective, run. Go, don't let the door stop you. Run, 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 run. See you when we be. Bye, losers. Oh, I should have hit the steps. I always forget these steps. I guess I'm going back to the train. It's zoomed in right here, right? Come on, train, hurry up. Those guys look creepy. Get in here. It's crowded tonight.
I inserted the stick into my cell and opened up the folder. My heart was pounding. For a moment, it looked like the data wouldn't load. But then the files started appearing on the screen. Dozens, maybe hundreds of documents, messages, pictures, and videos. They were decades old. Most of them dated 1799 or 1800. Their confidentiality level was one I'd never seen before. This was the type of data the Garian network would instantly pick up and trace, both to its receiver and back to its sender. It made sense to physically hand-deliver it if one wished to remain anonymous. I didn't know where to begin, so I opened up the very first file in the list, the oldest one, with shaking hands. It was a document sent from someone at the Department of Commerce to the director of the CDI at the time, Emilia Thorne, now Attorney General in charge of the Justice Department. My eyes widened as I skimmed over the paragraphs. When I was done reading the letter, I checked the time. 20 more minutes. I sat down and opened up the second one, then the third. As the conversation went on, a plan was hatched between a handful of politicians, special interest groups from the private sector, and high-ranking members of the CDI. I didn't recognize most of the names. Some might have been pseudonyms. I stopped looking at the files halfway through and let my head sink onto the backrest. Even though they had used very careful language at first, the goal and purpose of the operation were abundantly clear. The failure of Sector 2 hadn't been an accident. Garians had plotted and engineered it to gain sole access to Drovia's resources, and given its strategic importance at the time, ultimately retained supremacy over the solar system. My head was spinning while I tried to figure out what all of it meant for the present, and for me. I had long doubted the integrity of the CDI. Was it still rotten to the core, or had things changed? I didn't know about any ongoing operations that were breaching interplanetary law, but then most agents at the time of the Sector 2 incident hadn't known either. And some of the things I did know about, I didn't want to think about them too much. Now what? On the one hand, the public had a right to know. The culprits had to be found and brought to justice.
Sure.
Reparations had to be paid to the affected families and businesses.
Sure.
On the other hand, if the truth came out, the liberators would win. Savient extremists might be emboldened enough to take control of the colony and declare independence. If that happened, Gara would send its ships, and New Joran might send theirs to back up their Savient brethren, and to finally gain access to the planet's Telenium, of course, if their side won. Hundreds might die, thousands even. Time was running out. I tapped the contact of a journalist I had met a while back. I still hadn't made a decision when I heard the dial tone. The data would probably go through if I decided to send it, but there was no way in hell it wouldn't be traced back to me. My heart was pounding so loudly in my ears that I almost didn't hear the voice on the other end.
Man. This is Adrian Boley with the Garian Gazette. How can I help you? Hello? Are you there? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm hanging up now. I have information for you. Like, all that stuff that might happen as a result of this, not really our problem. We're dealing with the truth, the information we have now. It deserves to be out, and we're going to put it out. Who is this? I can't tell you. I'm sending you data package now. It's flagged and will be quickly picked up and traced by authorities. Your computer might be bricked. Back it up on an external drive as quickly as you can. Are you serious? Please confirm that you understand what I just said. I understand. Good. The public needs to know this. Promise me that it won't get buried. Well, I have to look at it first. Please? I might not have a second chance to send it out. Did you get it all? Yeah, I got it. Okay. It's in your hands now. Oh, shit. What did we just do? Plus, this kind of takes the power away from the terrorists. They can't use it. Oh, my objective saved Laura? Holy shit, that's quite the objective. I mean, I guess I just have to hand over the files. Hope they don't pull any bullshit. Sometimes I like just looking at the graphics here, man. If anyone ever says like pixel art can't be beautiful, there you go. Agent Conrad, welcome to our meeting. Glad you made it. I hope you didn't have any trouble finding the place. No, where's my daughter? You'll see her in a second. Let's make sure we're on the same page first. You came here alone, unarmed, and without anyone else knowing? Yeah. And you have to stick with the data we demanded on your person? I got what you want. And lastly, once you and your daughter are out of here, you will not tell anyone about what happened. Ever. We won't. Very well. We're good to go. If you'll follow us down to the basement. I don't like that idea so much. The basement. Dad! Laura, I'm here. It's gonna be alright. Zora, you're up. Give me the stick. I need to check its contents. It's all there. What the? Everything alright? Yeah, it's just... I can't believe what I'm looking at. Well, we're good. This was the folder we targeted. Great. Thank you so much for helping us, Agent Conrad. Laura, go. Get out of here. Are they gonna try some bullshit? You okay? Let's go. You'll have to stick around. I knew it. I knew it. You'll have to stick around a little longer, Mr. Conrad. What? Why? What's going on? We can't let you walk out of here like that. Sorry. Now go. Go now, little girl. Dad. Get on the next train and go home. Your dad will catch up with you soon. I won't leave without my dad. Laura, I need you to do exactly what I tell you now. You're gonna walk through that door, and then you're gonna straight to the train, okay? And no matter what happens, you don't look back. Dad, no. Promise me that. Laura, please, do that for me and for Mom. Okay, I promise. No matter what happens next, I want you to know that I love you. Tell your mom I love her too. Now go, please. I'm not controlling her. This is still all animation. Still cutscene.
And that's it. The most tumultuous days of my life, and possibly in Garian history.
It's got a ton of
Abbott Dyson is back on Drovia,
activity.
and I seem to be the only person
achievements
outside of the conspiracy who knows about his involvement in the terror attacks. So far, he seems to be staying true to his word and is discontinuing the Liberators. I wonder which one of us looks over their shoulder more often these days. Even though Dyson and Cox each lost a lot in the Sector 2 incident, I don't believe their actions were really driven by a righteous thirst for revenge. Almost all the people who have suffered and might still suffer from their actions had nothing to do with Gara's past crimes. Ultimately, Dyson had tried to start an interplanetary war in hopes of increasing his profit margins, and he might still succeed in it. The data I leaked sent a shock wave through the solar system.
Here we go.
The source of the leak was quickly discovered, and the CDI not only fired me on the spot, but also tried to scrub me from their records and made all sorts of claims to discredit me. The Garian state scrambled to spin the narrative on the Sector 2 incident, but the data was authentic and unambiguous. 40 years ago, the Savient colony on Drovia had been sabotaged in a secret operation initiated by a handful of Gyara's top politicians, economic elites, and the CDI under the leadership of Amelia Thorne, now Attorney General and leader of the Garian Department of Justice. It became clear to me why she had tried to hide the data, fired the chief when he got too close, and ordered the arrest of Cox when she realized who he was. She is currently awaiting trial, along with a number of mostly retired politicians who were implicated in the conspiracy. Lara is free again and seems to be doing okay, but I wonder every day about the scars this experience has left behind. Even though I know I'm not directly to blame, I will never forgive myself for inadvertently dragging
I'm running
her
this like
into
I'm
all
still
this.
alive, right?
As
So,
for me,
did I
I
survive
have
that?
a new boss now. His name is Williams.
How'd I get out of the
And
basement?
whenever he gives me a call, I'll do what he says. Zora's people kept me around for a few more days
Oh,
to
I
tell
work
me
for them
all
now.
about my new life before sending me back home, threatening my family if I ever stepped out of line. I'm afraid of what they'll ask of me, and I jump every time my cell makes a noise.
So I'm kind of in a bad
Catherine
spot.
and I are dating again, however crazy that sounds. Things are so different now. The world is so different that maybe something good can come of it again. And finally, Zora. There was a moment when I thought she might have changed. I saw hesitation in her eyes. Or maybe it was all in my head. I guess she's sort of a colleague now. Whatever our shared future will bring, I don't look forward to it. She's a sociopath. And her boss, our boss, seems even worse. I wonder if there was anything I could have said or done for things to turn out differently.
There you go. So this game was very cool, very engaging. I enjoyed playing it. However, there's not really a lot to do in it. I mean, there is. You run around, you talk to people, you know what I mean? It's a typical adventure game. But there's not that many puzzles. All the puzzles were logical deduction and pretty simple. I think I solved all of them correctly as far as I know. That you don't get a lot of feedback on it sometimes. I would have liked if there was more interaction. A lot of times this was more like a visual story. All the voice actors were cool. The production's good, the art's good, the story's great. Very much enjoyed it. I just wish I was a little bit more involved with it. You know, I could have did some more stuff. But other than that, yeah, it's a really cool game. I'll have to see what else this company put out. Anyway, if anyone actually watched this show is flatlined. I don't care. Honestly, I don't. But if any did watch it, thank you, appreciate it, and we'll see what's on whatever next. Okay. Do me a favor, keep the martinis dry. I'll be back.